Good evening. So I had a conversation with two people today that made me decide to create and share this content. It's about finance mostly. So basically, right, there are three different types of finance. There's earned income, money that everybody knows, money you earn from your job, um, mostly your job anyways, or anything you actively put yourself into. There's investment income. These are dividends, these are profits, these are interests, and so on and so forth. There's passive income. Passive incomes are basically things you've set in place, like a business. Basically things you've set in place that are earning steadily for you, that requires little or no actual, it requires little of you to be involved in it to actually operate and make money for you. Now, I had this, let me start with the second guy who called me. And he talked about the fact that yes, he's been making some money, and he's trying to decide if he should actually, increase and improve his standard of living, buy the flashy things, not the buy the nice things, or if he should buy properties. That, to be honest, he doesn't know which he wants to do, and he's quite honest with himself, knowing that he wants to do the first one, which is buying of the nicer things of life and so on and so forth. But he knows that he feels like he should do different with it. And I asked him, what are your sources of income? That was the first thing I asked him, like, how are you earning money? He's a tech guy, he does his tech stuff, and he makes money. He earns income. And I told him this, I said, you are at level 1. You shouldn't be thinking of how to improve your standard of living yet. To be honest, you probably have worked and you feel like you deserve a little treat. Yes, go and treat yourself. That's fine. But then to invest most of your earned capital income in standard of living is actually you buying liabilities. Because this is what it is. Liabilities take money from you. Assets give you money. Now, I've digressed, but let me come back to the point. There are three different types of income. There's earned income, there's income on investments, and then there are passive income. Earned income, there are incomes you get from actively doing something, say a job, employment. Passive income, these are basically income or interest. These are basically dividends, interest, and so on and so forth, basically. And then there's passive income. These are incomes that you don't personally have to be involved. Say a business, you've created a business that can self-operate. You've created a what would I call it? You've basically made a money machine. You've made a structure that continues to make money from you. Say hire purchase, say rentals, and so on and so forth. You understand? Now, as a person who has your first income, you've gotten to the stage where you are earning quite well, you're earning well enough, you're earning good enough. That's actually very, very fine. What's the next step for you? The next step for you is to diversify, is to include something. The way wealthy people buy the things that they want to buy, not need to buy, is by investing the amount see, being wealthy, in fact, is a mindset. Being wealthy, having money, you understand? Having money is a mindset. Do you understand? A wealthy person will take his earned income, build another source of income, that's diversifying, by investing in something or starting up something, and so on and so forth. Build a secondary income. Then maybe at that point can start going for the final things of life. But me personally, I believe in 3 sources of income. I believe in all of them. I believe in having all of them before you decide to start, Now, I advised this guy after he told me that he's not sure of what to do. He wants to do this, he wants to do that, or he wants to buy properties. I said, you've gotten your first one. Start by having an investment now. You buy a property today and you don't have the ability to build on it. You come back in 3 years, let's say you bought 2 of those properties, and before you know, your properties that you bought 1 million naira are above 6 million naira. You can sell one plot to then build a structure on the other one. But you decide to wait and say, okay, I want to wait till when I have the finances to buy as much as possible. During your wait, the product you wanted to buy for 1 million naira has turned to 3 million naira in 1 year. In 2 years, it has turned to 5.5 million naira. In 3 years, something happens, then it's just totally out of purview. You cannot even afford it again. This is what happens. See, the marketers and so on and so forth, they come with procrastination is the master of whatever. Well, yes, that's actually true. But you see, it is especially true when it comes to land investment and property investment. The best time is always the current time, because property property investments is the core definition of demand and supply. Demand on property only ever increases. And so long as that continues, prices of properties will continue to soar. So it makes sense as a secondary source of income to buy properties, wait, have those properties appreciate, and then in some period of time, within some years, after some years, you then use your property to do whatever it is you want to. As a person who wants to build wealth, you must try to have those 3 different types of incomes that are solid. You have income from your job or your skill. You have income from things you've created that are self-operating, that keep making money from you. You understand? A lot of people buy Uber cars, a lot of people buy dispatch bikes, whatever it is. You do your own research and you get better at knowing what it is will yield you more. There's always always keep in mind a risk factor. Most of the times in investing and in business and so on and so forth, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. But then you should learn about risk management. You should learn about like the ratio to which your risk should reach to when you decide to invest your money. Those are personal researches anyway for people who want to. But then you have to make sure you have the 3 of them. As a person who wants to create wealth, you have to have 3 of them. Now let me talk about the tech guy, which was the first tech guy, the one who called me first. That guy, I recall the day we went down to sites and so on and so forth. The day we took him down to sites, right? He was coming from another real estate company where he had just bought some properties. This is somebody who is financially literate. This is somebody who understands that buying properties again and again is a must. I personally have never stopped since when I've been able to afford certain things, and since when my capital, my income level increased, I have not stopped buying properties. I am always buying properties. This is what people who want to be wealthy do. You understand? They buy assets, they buy properties, they buy things that can create more capital. He was coming from another real estate company with his documents intact, with the properties he had bought, just from one place to the other to come and buy another property. This is somebody who is thinking. He understands that what he has to offer is a skill. His skill is paying so much money. This is a senior tech guy. This is someone this is somebody who is well established in his game. He got to understand that within some years, what I have is a skill. A lot of other people are going to learn this skill. They're going to get better at this skill. They're going to offer this same thing I'm offering to the people to my clients at better rates than I am offering, and most likely cost value ratio is going to make most people go for the lower cost, same value, or close to the same value. What I'm earning now, what I'm making now, you can improve and you can stay on top of the game, which is very, very true. But then when there's competition always affects the market. It's a constant. That is just how it is. There's no 2 ways about it. Anyways, he understands this, and he's made it a goal to always keep buying properties. as much as he can whenever he can. Whenever he sees that this property is good, this property is viable, it's in a good location, it's with good documents, it's with this and it's with that. When this guy came down to our site, I remember he made a call to someone, asking someone about probably just consulting someone. And I remember the person saying, real estate investments are not something you rush into, and so on and so forth. I was just smiling. Baba bought times 3 of the amount he wanted to buy before. He came to buy a few plots. He ended up buying a lot. See, this is somebody who understands how to invest. This is somebody, when you have someone who thinks like this, you would understand that it will take an extremely terrible miracle to have that person go broke. Like actually broke. Not having cash, not having money in your account is not being broke. Not having assets. You have 1-2 million in your account, you feel like you have money. You have 1-5 million in your account, you feel like you don't have anything. Ownership is what creates wealth. Ownership of businesses, ownership of companies, ownership of properties. Properties is one of the surest and easiest way to actually own wealth. See, you find people who could have owned a lot of things over years, like coming from way back, they could have accumulated assets, and you find them using all that money to buy liabilities. Think about it with me. You buy a car that you don't really need to impress some people. Maybe, okay, I shouldn't have added this, but I'll add it anyway. To impress some people you don't really know. And over time, that car continues to consume. You buy a phone you don't really need, and it can't provide you with the value you actually want. And over time, you spend money, taking care of such luxury liabilities. What does that do to your finances over a long period of time? Think of it. Some people buy debt. They don't realize they are buying debt. This is how it goes. You have a fleet of 4-5 cars. You earned about $50,000. You bought about 4-5 cars. Now those cars, all well and good, you bought them, they're driving, they're moving well, your standard is high, you're a big boy. But then you are going to maintain those cars. Those cars are not going to do anything but take. They're not going to do anything but take. Whereas if you had bought assets, they're not going to do anything but give. I recently found a lady, a very young lady, who bought about let's leave that story. People are making money. People are making the right investment choices. People are doing the right thing in order to improve their actual wealth, their real standard of living, not the borrowed standard of living and the fake things and so on and so forth. So try to have an investment mindset. Try to have a business. Try to have a billionaire's mindset. These are things that are a billionaire's mindset. You delay the things you believe that are things that you believe that are identities of success, faking it to make it. Attitude talks like that get me irritated. They get me annoyed. You actually make it to make it. You actually earn a lot. You find people who bought properties when they were 100,000. They bought a lot of the property. They just bought it anyhow. 15 years down the road, they are selling one for 20-something million, and it's happening everywhere. People that bought Lekki, people that bought 40 plots of Lekki. I know someone personally who bought 40 plots of Lekki. A pastor, he told me back then he bought 40 plots of land in Lekki. If you know how much he's selling one plot now, one plot will cover the entire cost. He bought the entire thing. This is property. This is what real estate does. There are different ways to invest in real estate. The short-term investment. You buy in 1-2 years, you sell off. You make clean capital. You make clean profits. Very good profit. There's long-term. You buy for a short period, you buy for a long period of time. You buy it, you keep it, you wait, you sell after a long period of time. There's an immediate way to keep earning from your properties. You buy, you build something, you keep it on rent. During the period when it's on rent, it is still appreciating. So you are earning from two different. See, when you start thinking of money as how much do I want to earn tomorrow, how much do I want to earn next tomorrow, as soon as possible, you end up making beats. When you start deciding to make bigger moves on things that are going to give you a lot of value over a long period of time, those are the times when you actually start getting rich. You buy a property, your property starts to appreciate. It is also giving you income, monthly or yearly income. It is giving you monthly or yearly income. You're taking care of the property. The property is in itself is appreciating. You use the money you're earning from that current property to invest in others, and invest in others, and invest in others, and invest in others. What happens over a 10-year period? What happens over a 5-year period? The goals should be set long term. You should think, you should project. What do you want to achieve after certain years? Whenever I hear people talk, and I try to listen to people's conversations, and I'm like, whenever I hear people planning, and their plan is by 6 months I will just blow. I know that this person is not even ready to do anything. When you hear people talking about 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, you know that these are serious-minded people who have a structure and a plan to achieve. And it might not always go as planned. That is life. You might plan for 4 years and you end up going for 6 years. But at the end of the day, when you achieve your goal, it adds real value, financial and so on and so forth to your life. Take time, think. Real estate investments are there, properties are there. We as a company, we strategize in buying properties. We don't just buy properties to sell. We strategize in buying properties. We target properties that we know that over certain periods of time they are going to increase. We buy properties that we know that have anyways, please try to invest in properties. Land Republic is where you should buy whatever it is you want to buy. And I fucked the video up, and I'm going to cut that part out. 17 fucking minutes.